Hey, what's up? It's your boy Luke P. Sanders, and I'm glad to be back with another episode of Family Talk. And today I have two special guests because today's episode is titled Empower Ladies. So everybody welcome Athena Salisbury, Renata Dalton.
Hey!
How y'all doing?
Ooh, I'm good. How you doing?
Good. I'm so happy y'all on the show.
Thanks for having us.
Yes. I'm doing well also, sorry.
No, you're good.
It's been a long day already.
So I wanted to ask, how did Empower Living begin? Because you guys have a company called Empower Living, and it's about mental health services. So how did that begin?
So, in 2010, it was 2010. In 2010, essentially, I felt like God was telling me, you're not going to be able to do what you want, how you want, working for someone else, so you need to start your own business. Then he put a particular person in mind. So I approached her, and she was like, sure, why not? So July 7th, we started Empower Living. And then later on that year, we brought in another partner. And so Athena became a part of it because one of the other original founders, she wanted to go start a family and all those things. And that was around the time that Athena was like, hey, we should start a business. And I'm like, I already got one. You want to just join? So Athena came on board in 2014. Yeah, 2014. So that's essentially a short version of how the company got started.
Awesome. I was just about to ask you whose idea was to start. Oh, no, that's a different question. I thought it said Empower Living. But yeah, whose idea was to start Empower Hour, the radio show that you guys have?
I would probably say it was probably a combination, but other people were telling us that we need to do it. I think Lady J probably is the first one who said, hey, you guys should have a show. And we was like, because originally we started off doing something different. Like I started doing something different. I was on a different show with Kimberly Kent way back when she first started to branch out, when it was what was it? JQ, not JQLM. Ooh,
I don't know.
I can't remember the name
Oh,
of
yeah.
it. Like way back when, and when the Reverend owned the station, and so she started off doing that thing, and she was like, you should come be on the show with me. And then it turned into myself, Kim, and her daughter Dominique, and then from there it was like, you guys should do your own, and then here we are.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I never knew that. That's a good backstory.
It was definitely not our plan.
No.
So how did Renata come on board?
Because for me it was kind of natural for us to do a show because people like mental health aspects. So because she's a therapist and I'm not, and we already co-own a mental health practice, it was like, yeah, we should do this together. Because I don't have that background. I tell her all the time she's a saint gone marching in, because I can't deal with people and their problems. I try a little bit as a life coach, but that the therapy part, we need her. We need her.
So you guys, of course, going along with your book, going along with your radio show, your company, you also have a book. So how did Adult Ninja Trip come about?
So that came about because, let me start off before 2020. So because we're holistic and we want to make sure we touch as many areas of your life as possible, we started doing workshops and things like that. So first we started off with finances. So we had a financial advisor. He would come in. It started off monthly, then we went to quarterly. It's because of the low attendance. But we recognized that we wanted to touch more people, so we had toyed around for a few years with the idea of we should write a book. And then in 2020, essentially Athena and I had two people going to hospice within like weeks of each other. And it was like super unexpected. So like essentially we were just I'm trying to think of the right word to use. We were kind of like just there. We were on autopilot, just kind of making things work. And sometimes when people go on a Gloria, kind of put you in the perspective of you need to just do stuff instead of putting it off because you don't know how much time you have. Because one of the persons, we were the same age. We went to high school together. I've noticed since middle school, Athena and her and I all went to high school together. So, that it puts your mortality in a different perspective. So essentially, their deaths kind of forced us to, let's just go ahead and write this book and stop playing games. But the part of the premise of writing the book was because we kept getting 25 to 50-year-olds that were just really struggling with adulthood. And so we said, well, let's create a workbook instead of writing a book that tells you this is how you do it, because it's going to look different for everybody.
Nice. And I wanted to ask, this episode comes out in January of 2023. So when's your next event?
January 11th, 2023, right? That's the day?
Yes, that is correct.
Look at me. Calendar
Wow.
in my hand.
So it comes out today then. The event is today.
So if you have not signed up, there's still time.
Maybe.
We might have one spot left.
And what are your 2023 goals?
Our 2023 goals, we've worked really hard in 2020 just to get our foundation in a really good spot, just because a lot of opportunities presented themselves in 2020 that will manifest in 2023. So just making sure that our foundation was solid, and that we grew as business owners and leaders. And so now that we've done that work and continue to do that work, some of our goals are to increase our presence in the community. So that will look like strengthening some of our partnerships, developing more partnerships, making sure that we're continuing to host events every month, minimum once a month, increase attendance, and just making sure that we're just helping people heal in whatever capacity that we can.
Nice. Athena?
Ditto to everything she said. But then, I mean, definitely starting to live more in our purpose, because I know we've done that so much, but I think the more that we start to live daily in our purpose and not be shy about certain things, the more everything will fall into place. So I think we're just going to keep expanding on that, because I think we've done better. Because before we were shy about our gifts, talents, and abilities. We're like, oh, okay, nobody's going to pay us to do this. Now it's like, no, they're going to pay us to do this because they pay other people to do this. So why not us? So I think living in that purpose and our God-given talent, and just moving forward with that mentality of we can, we will, and we shall. So
Nice. And this next question is a loaded question because I presented you guys with ideas. So do you guys have any new shows coming out? Like any podcasts or series coming out? I think I'm still laughing.
That was a very loaded question. So the answer is most likely.
Oh.
We have an idea of exactly what that will be, not at the present moment. But we
How come you had to consult me?
Well, I mean, because we're still sorting through it. But we recognize that God is funny, so I don't want to say no, we're not going to do it, and then God be like, oh, yes, you are. So we'll just say that we're still sorting through some of the opportunities that we have for 2023.
Nice, awesome. What has been your favorite moment of 2022?
I have to narrow it down to one. Well, my favorite moment, even though I almost died, was still Jamaica. I got to finally get a stamp on my passport, and that was the goal. I was like, I've had my passport since, only a year. And I said I wanted to have a stamp in it before year 2 of me having it. So I got in 2021. I made that goal. So that was still definitely a highlight, because I had a good time. I got to be away. I didn't have my cell phone to keep me occupied. I actually did stuff. I actually enjoyed outdoors. So that I could think of. I mean, if I had to narrow down to one, that was still my favorite, because I did have a good time. Good suntan and all. I had a good time.
So who would be your dream guest to have on the Power Hour?
That's a good question.
Locally or nationally?
Both.
Locally? I don't know.
Locally, meaning like not just Indianapolis, like the Midwest too.
Yeah.
Tri-state area.
Because, I don't. I'll let Renata go. She watches.
You gonna put on her?
Well, because you watch a lot of documentaries. You have a lot of people that you just love to.
I mean, there's a lot of famous people in Detroit and Chicago, Tennessee, Nashville.
You know who I actually wouldn't mind talking to is the Cupcake Lady.
From here?
No, not from here. Oh, she's in Nashville. She started out in New Orleans. I'm gonna mess her name up. It's a French name.
See, I told you she knew something.
Well, she popped in my head. Why can't I think of her name?
I hate that.
I'll think of it later and I'll tell you. But,
Okay.
I think she just has a very inspiring story. So essentially, kind of down to her last dollar, didn't even really know how to make cupcakes, but just kind of did it, and like her business is like ridiculous. And she's just, I've heard her speak in different capacities, and just how she views legacy and wealth and growth and just being secure in yourself. I think that would be a nice conversation. I feel like it would be one of those conversations where I would just be in awe, just listening, just learning about her. So that can be, she's in Nashville, so that'll be my local. And then,
National.
who would it be national? I don't know.
I have one.
Who's yours?
Guess who mine would be?
Who, Michelle Obama or Barack
No.
Obama?
But somebody kind of, not like in the presidential status, but like somebody of like that's well known like them.
Like Oprah?
You getting closer? Who's Oprah's friend?
Gail?
Not best friend.
Stedman?
No. I'll give you one more guess.
Oh, Tyler Perry.
Yes.
He would be awesome.
Yeah, I would love to pick his brain because he's like an entertainment guru.
Yeah, he is.
And that's like, next year is going to be like that for me as far as like stuff back to back, like podcasts and series back to back. He handles it so well and he schedules it so well.
Yeah.
And they all do well. He like, it's all those are his children and they're all growing up successfully. That's the way I look at it.
I will say, side note, I thought it was interesting as we were guessing the same people.
Yeah.
And our voice kept elevating.
That's because y'all know each other.
We both was like, Steph?
That was funny.
So I follow was going to be, he cool. I've got to meet him, but
Oh, you have?
he came to Ball State once. When I was there.
Nice.
So I
That's
did
really
get to
cool.
chit-chat with him for a hot second. Not to say no shade to the man, but just,
It's like,
that's not the person that I typically hear people say, that's who I want to talk to.
Shoot, heck, I would, because how do you
He know
be a
Oprah
kept-
for real.
Right.
Be a kept man for all these years, but not have to be
He might
married.
not be kept. We don't know that situation.
Okay.
He work, so he ain't that yet.
He's
What's his
He's a
occupation?
politician.
Oh, I never knew
Again.
that.
He ain't working with man. You ain't going political.
Another bad situation.
So
I don't know who my person would be.
Okay,
I mean, I think it would be nice to talk to Oprah.
me too. Yeah.
I think it would be nice to talk to Issa Rae. I think it
Oh,
would be
yeah.
nice to talk to
Oh, another person.
uh,
What's her name? Eva DuVernay.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like I feel like it's so many.
It
just-
is a
Right.
lot. It's a
Even
lot.
Tracy Ellis Ross. I think she would. Be
Oh,
good to
yeah.
talk to.
I want to find out more about her hair company and what's her name? Taraji P. Henson's hair company.
Mm.
Taraji would be fun.
I have a family member that uses both, and I want to say she
Ooh.
really likes Tracy's product.
See, I don't know if they have anything for dreads. The only thing I really need is like scalp treatment though.
Have you looked at Twaleed? No, that's the rapper. It's something along that lines. It's a good brand. I use them for my twist outs.
Okay.
But they have products specific for locks. I'll look up
Nice.
the name and I'll send it to you.
Thank you. So moving on, what has been your favorite moment from interviewing me? You've interviewed me twice. So both of you. I'll let Athena go first because you've been giving everything
Thank
to
you.
Renata.
Everything to
Most.
her. Because sometimes though you gotta keep in mind I talk more than she does, so I'm just returning the favor.
I wouldn't say that.
Sometimes I do talk more than you. You be like, Athena. I'm like, fine. My favorite moments interviewing you would be when you're being transparent and you're being authentic. I think that's something that I love because I just love that you can actually say it out loud. And usually when you can say it out loud, that means you're okay with it. You're happy about that. You're okay with people knowing that about you. And so that makes me happy because it's like, everybody has that point in their life when they're like shy or they're not ready to speak about certain things or they're hiding something or not necessarily hiding something but just keeping something to themselves. But when you're able to just speak happily and freely, it's like, oh, that makes me happy. Like, oh, look go.
I would say just seeing your growth in general. Because I feel like I've seen you grow a lot over the years. So just being able to see your growth and your transparency and just seeing your level of dedication. Because I don't think everybody, I think the type of things that you do are not easy things. And it requires a level of transparency that everybody is not willing to do.
Thank you, guys.
They don't always do it well, I'll say that. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Yay, Luke.
Well, we're at let's see, 15 minutes, so we can wrap now. We can keep going. You guys can flip the table and turn it on me. Ask me questions.
No, I think Kimmy was trying not to ask a question.
I remember that when you were interviewing me. I remember that.
Well, why are you trying not to ask a question, Mr.
Because we on his show. So.
That's true.
No questions for me?
I'll ask you one.
We got questions now.
So what has been your favorite part, or what makes you continue to invite us on your show?
Because I feel like you guys have something very unique that I haven't seen ever. Like, you guys have this bond, and you guys have something uniquely, separately and together. It's almost like Mary, or almost like Super Mario Bros. They're both great with each other, and they're both great without each other. You guys just are real people with good hearts. You guys are very special in that way, and you guys are also very business minded, and I appreciate that. And I think people should be exposed to you guys. So anytime that I can help, or anytime that I can put you on, I like to do that.
Oh, thank you. Think about Luke.
So what's your favorite thing that, it's like, oh my God, I can't believe God blessed me with this. What's your biggest thing that you're going to do next year?
For me, I would say doing retreats.
Nice.
So anybody that knows Empower Living knows that I've been hollering about doing retreats since the beginning. And so it's kind of coming to fruition now. So I'm very excited about that.
Athena?
I'd probably say the retreats are in just getting back to doing what we do, which is, events or meaningful community events and things. I think we did a little taste last year, but I think we finally are getting to a point where more people are comfortable and we can start to do things more and be out more. So actually just being out and about and doing what we like to do, which is talk, teach, educate, all those things. Because that gives me a little high. I love doing that stuff. I hate the behind the scenes stuff. But
really?
I do.
I never hear that from people.
Because that part stresses me out. The day of doesn't stress me out. It's always that before, trying to make sure you got a bunch of sponsors, trying to make sure you got silent auction stuff, making sure you got people who freaking come, you know what I mean? But the day it actually happens, that day, I'm just like, okay, well, whatever, it's working. This is a contingency plan, boom. But that stuff before, I'm like, somebody please buy tickets, somebody please. No, yeah, that's what I'm excited to get back to doing that stuff.
So what's next for Empower Hour? Because how long have you guys been going?
It's been a while, and I was trying to think of that the other day, and I couldn't
remember. Some years.
It has been a very long time. It just doesn't seem like it.
It doesn't. Time went fast.
It has.
It's going fast, and it's hard to keep track.
I've never had a radio show, so I want to give y'all props, because podcasts, you have seasons. Radio shows, I know y'all take breaks every now and then, but imagine not taking breaks. That's 52 episodes or 52 shows a year.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
We have not always done 52.
Yeah. We have taken some hiatus, a.k.a. right now we have. But we can get back to it because, I miss it. I do. I don't know. I can't speak for Nana, but I do like talking and doing that type of thing. That does not bother me.
I like it when we have guests. So the interesting thing is I have never listened to any of our shows.
Really?
Wow.
I've never listened to not one of them.
Oh, wow.
I can listen to them and I'll be like, okay, I think the next time, you need to change your voice. Your voice sounds weird.
No.
It's always a voice thing when I go back and listen. I'm like, oh my God. It's so weird.
That's why.
Listen to yourself.
I don't put the headphones on. I think
do.
there's just a part of me that's like, no. You heard it when you was there. You good.
If I don't put the headphones on, I feel like I'm either too loud or too quiet. Mm-hmm. So I have to put them on, even though it might freak me out a little bit. I don't know. I'm just weird in that way.
I have to listen to myself too, because I want to hear if my voice is cracking, if you can't hear me good. Yeah. I want to hear at the time it says somebody be like, motioning to me saying, I can't hear you. So I'd rather hear my, and then if my voice sounds annoying, I want to make sure I change it a little bit. So,
we're different. I don't need to hear my voice. It's not about me. It's about whoever's on the show.
I mean, even if it's just us on the show, it's just, I have to hear myself because I'm just like, tweak. Okay.
Maybe one day I will. Maybe I'll go back and listen to some of the beginning ones. But no, I've never listened to any of our shows.
Really?
See, I didn't got fancy. I'd be like, okay, can I have the gain up a little bit? And then sometimes there's no gain.
Look at you.
That comes from my choir days, though. So,
True.
but yeah. Well, yeah. I just want to thank you guys for coming on the show. Empower Hour. Name all your businesses and shows and books and. Where
Separate
people
from Empowered Living or just in general?
in general.
Okay.
Go first.
So I am, it's Empowered Living Inc. And on every platform, it's at Empowered Living Inc. except for Twitter, because that's Empowered Living 1, because Empowered Living Inc. was stolen by someone. But on our websites, www.empoweredlivinginc.net. On Facebook, you can find Empowered Hour. If you're interested in being on our show, we are on Mondays from 6 to 7 Eastern Standard Time. You can inbox me on any of those platforms and say, hey, I would like to be a guest on your show, and we'll get it set up. We can even pre-record if we need to. Outside of this, I have a jewelry business, Goddess Adorn. You can find that on every platform as Goddess Adorn Me, I think it is. Goddess Adorn Me on Twitter. No. Is it Twitter? Instagram and Facebook. Those are only two. And Pinterest. Those are the only three I really deal with. That's where my self-love journal will be on my website when I finally get it up and going. To go along with our Adulting is a Trip workbook on Empowered Living's website. And we have a journal for Empowered Living too, so don't forget that. And then Renata has her 8 businesses that she has.
I don't have that many.
Don't forget about the radio show.
Oh yeah, the Empowered Hour. I did say Empowered Hour on Facebook.
Oh, okay, my bad.
Yeah, but we don't have a website for that. But
Oh, you sure did. I missed that.
that's okay. Look at you not listening to me.
I'm trying to double check.
No, I'm just
I want to make sure that they have everything.
I'll just give it a hard time.
Okay.
Okay, so short version, everything she said about Empowered Living. I own a company called Beautifully Human, and so that essentially is, it's hard to explain it, I feel like it, but essentially what I do with that company is I do contractual work for various organizations or what have you. I provide supervision for some individuals. I do retreats, which fall underneath that category, and the sexuality coaching and all those things. But I do it with Empowered Living, but also with Beautifully Human. Still slowly working on my bra line, so that's BH.
Nice.
Slowly working on that.
I never knew about that.
Yeah. Since 2019, I've been working on coming out with a line of close to custom luxury bras for bigger breasted women.
Nice.
So that will come to fruition, Lord willing, sooner than later. And then I have a company with my sister called Black Papers, which looks at credit and finances. And Athena and I both are notaries. And
What?
Oh yeah.
What else
I didn't know that.
I'm technically a life insurance agent.
What?
Yeah. And
I've known y'all for like 3-4 years.
look, sometimes I forget what I can do.
I need you to write all this down.
I think that's it.
No, you missing something, I'm sure.
And then in conjunction with the books, the Empowered Living books, I have a journal also. It's called the Be Free Journal. So the original art on the cover my sister did, but that was kind of birthed out of one of the retreats. So I think that's all of the things that I do.
Okay.
I hope.
Well, thank y'all for coming on. Don't forget about the event today, January 11th. Can you tell them about that one more time?
That is going to be our vision board with a twist event. We're going to do vision boards, but we're going to have a part of our workbook incorporated in it about the emergency binder, how to get your affairs in order beforehand.
Yes.
So you can be more proactive versus reactive. And this will be at Ujamaa Bookstore off Martin Luther King
Oh,
from
nice.
6 p.m. until. I always say until because we never leave on time. So,
We get better.
but y'all need to be there by 6:15 in order to be there when we start, because we always give you about a 15-minute grace period, maybe 30 minutes, depending on
How many people?
people and weather and
But
things
we'll
of that
only
nature.
be 15 this time.
But we'll strive for 15, unless somebody says there was an accident or something nearby, which that has happened before, and we've kind of slowly started. So,
And it kicks off our adulting conversation series.
yep, for the year. So, which means we usually do something monthly. So make sure that monthly you tune in to see what we're doing, because we try to do as much as we can, free stuff, but we do understand that some people that we bring in may want some sort of compensation. But a lot of this information that is free, get it while you can, because some people will start to charge, especially for the estate planning. Like, that is like golden money right there. And she usually does it for free, and she comes in and gives you the groundwork for free, from an actual lawyer. So people of that caliber we try to bring in and try to keep it as low cost as possible. So as many events as you can attend, we would love to have you, and hope to see you soon.
All right, you heard it here. Make sure you keep it locked, keep it tuned to Family Talk every Wednesday at 11 Central. Don't forget to follow me at Luke Sanders and the show at Family Talk Podcast on Facebook.